Hey, Channing, great
Yeah.
game against Florida. Appreciate you doing the interview tonight. Can you just give us some background on how you guys are approaching a game you're supposed to win by 37 points? It would seem to be hard to maybe keep an edge for a team you're supposed to blow out.
This Florida game is definitely that week was like a challenging week for us offensively for Florida. They run a lot of schemes, kind of like eye violators. That's what we call them or whatnot. And so like we just had to really like buckle down and look at those type of things. And so like we just focus on what we had to do for our job. And so like once we paid attention, like what we had to do for our job and just executed that, everything took care of itself after that. So yeah, now we headed to I'm in Missouri. Play a good Missouri team.
How are they different?
How is Florida and Missouri different?
Yeah, how's Missouri different from Florida?
Missouri runs a lot more like a 3-spot. From their offense, they're a lot more like I want to say like left to right than Florida is. There's not as many eye violators, but they do try to trick you a lot too.
I'm good. I don't have anything.
Okay, let's go next to Chip Towers and then Dean Legge.
Yeah, Channing, this defense, we've written so much about how good it is. Obviously, it's a very good defense. But, the linebackers in particular, D-line kind of gets a lot of the glory here. But you look at what Quay did this past weekend. You've had big games like that. N'Kobe has a pick six. It seems like somebody's the player of the week every week in the SEC. Can you just talk about this linebacker core? And I know the outside linebackers, they're the Wolf Pack. I don't know if you guys have come up with a nickname for your group or your inside guys or not. But
in the inside linebacker group, we don't have a name. Something I'm probably gonna have to talk about it tonight. Actually, I don't know, or at the end of the season. Like we ain't really worried about a name for real right now. But we always just try to improve. Like each week, we focus on getting better. So we don't really try to focus on the past. Last week, we look at our mistakes. So now we just try to get better and better and better. I feel like that's what makes our room so special because we're all competitive. So we all trying to do better than the other one. So like when you're trying to do better than the other one, you focus on everything: the keys, the alignments, what you got to do, everything. Like so, we trying to just like outdoing each other, is actually making us better. So like that's the number one thing that's kind of got us to the point that we are now.
I think Dean's away from his chair, so let's go to Jake Rowe and then Ryan Curley.
Channing, I wanted to ask you kind of about Nolan. I want to say we've talked to you about him before. I can't really remember, but do you get the sense that, obviously the plays he made Saturday against Florida, I mean, is he a guy that you guys have seen that out of him a lot during practice, that playmaking element that maybe, hasn't, necessarily been there from a turnover standpoint like we saw against Florida?
Oh yeah, definitely. In practice, like what you see in practice is what you're going to see, like seeing in the game. And we're a firm believer, like what you do in practice is what's going to show up in the game. And Nolan's always very passionate, very vocal, and he's going to make plays. And like what he does in practice, it shows up on the field. So like all his hard work, he earns it. All those plays you see, those like aren't just lucky plays. Like he actually worked for those. So yeah.
Channing, how special has it been to be a part of a defense like this? I mean, you guys are being compared to some of the best defenses ever. I mean, what is that like every day? Has it felt different this year than the last few years?
I want to say like it feels different from a connection standpoint. Like we're really close. We don't want to let each other down. But other than like I want to say like even from previous years, like we always just focus on like taking it one step at a time. So like we don't try to focus on everything everything that's going on outside. We just try to like escalate. So like we just trying to like take it one step. Because when you start focusing on what's outside, then you start losing focus on your goal. And so like we can worry about that at the end of the season, but right now we focus on Missouri.
Let's go to Connor Riley and then Jed May.
Yeah, hey Channing. With what you guys have done seemingly every week this season, does the success you've had surprise you at all? Or is it just, this is sort of what you guys expect based on the work you guys put in week in, week out?
I want to say it's what we expect. Like we try to hold each other all to a high standard. So like when we practice or not, we practice with a high standard. We don't settle for little mistakes. We try to focus on the little details, keep our composure, just keep grinding all the way until we get where we want to go.
Channing, what is your, I guess, favorite memory of Keeley Ringo just over this year? Obviously, he didn't get to practice with y'all last year with the injury. Just what has been your favorite, I guess, recollection of him, on the practice field over this year?
On the practice field, I want to say my favorite memory of Keeley. It's not my favorite memory of Keeley's not in a practice though. Like he worked so hard in practice. My favorite memory of Keeley is when his interception. His first interception. I want to say that was against UAB. I want to say like he just worked so hard. Like he's just a hard worker. Coach Smart stays on him, whatnot. Like he just keeps working and working and working. And just to see him in that moment catch that pick six and like come from it, it's just like a special moment. So that's like my favorite memory of Keeley.
Let's go to Matthew Welsh and then Tyler Griffith.
Yeah, Channing, I just want to ask you, what does it feel like to have the opportunity to go up against the SEC's leading rusher, and y'all are going to have a chance to really silence their run game this weekend?
It's gonna be something. It's gonna be special, but we just gonna lock down and do what we got to do. Just taking one step at a time. Game plan.
Hey, so Coach Smart was just telling us that in regards to the leaders on the defense, y'all have a bunch of alpha dogs. Do you think that description is correct, and do you consider yourself one of those leaders or alpha dogs?
I do feel like we have a lot of alpha dogs in the room, and I do consider myself one of the alpha dogs. It doesn't matter like who's on the field, what's going on. Like I'm just gonna speak for my room specifically, but like there's way more alpha dogs than just in my room. Like it doesn't matter if the Kobe's out there, he gonna be the alpha dog. It don't matter if Quay out there, he gonna be an alpha dog. It don't matter if Jamon or Smile out there, whoever out there, they gonna be the leader of that team when it's time. So like whoever that's what we're a firm believer in. Like whoever, like if you out there on the field, you the alpha dog. So you need to do what you gotta do what you gotta do to help the team out.
All right, let's wrap up with Jack Matheson.
Hey, Channing, I just want to talk about before the season, there's a lot of criticism about how young the Georgia secondary was. What have you seen from a lot of the young players in the secondary like Kamari Lassiter and Keeley Ringo, and how have they developed throughout the season?
They very attentive. They focus on the little details. Like I was saying before, like they has really good composure. They really listen to what coach is saying. Like they don't like nobody really gets mad. They take coaching, and like that's a big part of I feel like why they've been so successful lately. They really take coaching. So they don't like once they take coaching and just focus on everything they have to focus on, then you just see the product once you get on the field.